A lost media relates to any media that is believed to no longer exist in any format, and due to the WWE being a multi-decade-old company, there's an abundance of lost media that is yet to resurface and media that we'll never ever see in our lifetimes. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at WWE media that's been lost forever. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Number 1. Girls Gone Wild Spring Break. In 2003, WWE had officially put the Attitude Era in the rearview mirror, and in doing so, a strong portion of their audience had said goodbye to WWE. In an attempt to get some of the Attitude Era fans back to the product, WWE would deliver a pay-per-view collaboration with Girls Gone Wild. Girls Gone Wild was an adult entertainment company, and WWE believed that this was the exact thing that lapsed fans would want to see. Unfortunately for WWE, the pay-per-view flopped massively, and it highlighted that WWE didn't understand their modern audience. The WWE Girls Gone Wild pay-per-view event was anticipated to perform well, and WWE even expected the pay-per-view to deliver around 300,000 buys. However, the show only obtained 70,000 buys, making it one of the biggest flops in company history. Number 2. Kurt Angle vs Owen Hart. Almost everything in WWE is recorded, and this extends to dark matches. WWE likes to record dark matches so WWE officials can review them, and they are sometimes used for documentaries or compilation videos. One of the most infamous dark matches of all time took place in 1999, and it featured two legendary performers colliding as Kurt Angle took on Owen Hart. The match would take place before Angle's official WWE debut, and unfortunately took place a few weeks before Hart's untimely passing. WWE have never released footage of the match, and the only thing that exists from the match is one still image. Whilst fans have never been able to see the match, according to Angle during an interview with Inside the Ropes, the match was one of the best 15-minute matches ever. Vince McMahon decided to have a dark match with Owen Hart and myself, and at the time I had just started and I didn't really know what I was doing. Owen said, "Don't worry, I'll call it in the ring." We had one of the best 15-minute matches, and he made me build my confidence to a level that it never was before because he carried me through this match, and the match turned out to be a pretty damn good match. And I had just started a couple of months prior to that, so Owen Hart, he doesn't get enough credit for how good he was. I think Bret gets most of the credit for being the best wrestler in the family, but Owen Hart was every bit as good as Bret. Number 3. Owen Hart's Accident. Owen Hart tragically fell to his death at the Over the Edge pay-per-view in 1999. Naturally, due to the nature of the incident, footage of this was never distributed to fans or the wider public. This is the correct decision, as of course nobody with a sane mind would want to see another individual pass away, and WWE are without question doing the right thing by keeping this footage locked within their vault. Number 4. Dres Accident. Now, accidents can occur at any time in pro wrestling, and for Dres, a match with D'Lo Brown resulted in his life being altered forever. Dres would take a running powerbomb from D'Lo, and Dres ended up landing right on his head, and he suffered 2 fractured vertebrae in his neck. Dres was immediately rushed to hospital, where he underwent hours of surgery to reduce the pressure on his neck. Whilst Dres survived the incident, he required the use of a wheelchair for the rest of his life. The match in question was set to air on SmackDown, and due to SmackDown being taped in the year 1999, WWE had the opportunity to edit the match out of the broadcast. Footage of the match and incident has never been released. However, a snippet of the footage of Dres on a stretcher was previously used on a Don't Try This at Home video. Whilst this does seem insensitive, it is entirely possible that WWE reached out to Dres for permission to use the footage, as it ultimately highlights the true dangers of pro wrestling. Number 5. The Lost Hell in a Cell. Although the Hell in a Cell was vastly overused as a concept between 2009 to 2022, WWE still liked to protect the match as much as possible. However, in an unprecedented move, following an episode of Raw in 2011, WWE decided to use the popular match type. In a Hell in a Cell match, John Cena retained the WWE Championship against Alberto Del Rio, Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler, and CM Punk. The match would just last 5 minutes, making it the shortest Cell match in company history. WWE never released footage of the match. That was until a few years ago when they released a 60-second clip of the match. Due to the match being an untelevised dark match, the match featured hardly any production and featured no commentary. Number 6. Jake the Snake Roberts gets cheered. In 2005, WWE released a documentary focused on Jake the Snake Roberts. In this documentary, Hulk Hogan revealed that he was initially going to work with Roberts in a top storyline in WWE, however, the storyline was scrapped. To set the feud up, WWE would have Hogan appear on the Snake Pit, and the segment came to a close when Roberts would lay out WWE's top guy with a DDT. In a shocking turn of events, the fans turned on Hogan and decided to side with Roberts. Due to this reaction, the footage was never distributed, and any plans for an actual storyline between Hogan and Roberts were immediately cancelled. Now, there have been rumors that the footage was shown to promote live event matches between the two, but these rumors have never been corroborated. Number 7. The photos from the plane ride from hell. The plane ride from hell featured numerous WWE wrestlers getting highly intoxicated and causing bedlam on a plane ride back from Europe. Numerous incidents occurred during the infamous flight, including physical altercations and even accusations of sexual harassment. It's believed that photos from the aftermath of the plane ride do exist. According to former WWE star Just Incredible, paparazzi were taking multiple photos of the wrestlers going through customs at JFK Airport. One of the photos was apparently a photo of legendary Scott Hall in a wheelchair. These photos have never surfaced in any capacity, and it's never been made clear as to why this is. Number 8. Screwed, the Bret Hart story. When WWE decided to produce a documentary in The Ultimate Warrior, they decided to present and highlight all the negative aspects of Warrior as a human being. Although WWE later made amends with the Warrior, some fans believe that this was a step too far and the documentary should have never been commissioned. Around the same time as the self-destruction of The Ultimate Warrior was being produced, WWE also had plans to release a similar documentary focused on Bret Hart. The documentary would be titled Screwed, the Bret Hart Story, and would feature names such as Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels sharing negative stories about the Hitman. It was said that the focus would be on the Montreal Screwjob, as well as Hart being unprofessional and a poor businessman. This was a bold idea from WWE, especially when you consider that Hart was one of the most respected and beloved pro wrestlers of all time, so it would have been extremely difficult for WWE to get enough negative commentary to justify a huge documentary like this. Even HBK was in a much better place mentally in 2005, so it would have been unlikely that he would say anything negative about his former arch nemesis. Eventually, Vince McMahon reached out to Hart as he wanted him to play a part in the documentary. Hart agreed to provide creative input, and WWE changed direction with the documentary, focusing on the positive aspects of Hart's career. The incredibly successful documentary would become Bret the Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. The negative interviews were never seen, and according to Hart, WWE used the negative angle as a ploy to get him involved in the documentary. Number 9. Triple H's Disturbed theme song. Triple H's theme song titled The Game is one of the most iconic theme songs of all time, and a popular band Disturbed once recorded a cover of the track. The track is nowhere to be found when it comes to it being available to listen to, and only snippets exist for fans to enjoy. In an interview, Disturbed implied that the song was recorded at some point in 2006, and it's unclear if WWE commissioned the band to deliver the cover, or they did it as they personally enjoyed the song. Nevertheless, the song was never used on WWE programming, and it's unlikely to ever see the light of day. And number 10, WrestleMania 36, Alternative Endings. When the COVID-19 pandemic shut the world down, WWE had to change everything about their business model. The annual spectacle known as WrestleMania would now take place at the WWE Performance Center, and in a unique move, the show would take place in front of 0 fans. There's been a lot of discourse over the past few years as to whether the show should have gone ahead, as whilst it was appreciated that WWE delivered a show for fans, nobody would mind it if WWE put a show on hold until the world returned to normal. The show was also pre-taped in advance, and due to inevitable spoilers leaking, WWE would record multiple endings for the majority of the top matches on the card. This would have likely exclusively been for the world title matches, and any cinematic or off-site matches would have likely only had one finish recorded. These alternative finishes have never been seen by fans, and this will always be the case, as it goes without saying that releasing alternative match finishes would have been a huge breach of kayfabe. But there you have it, folks, WWE Media that has been lost forever. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.